Welcome back to the Old Iron River channel. My name is Bob and we're off on another little project. I have a pressure washer, a Chinese thing. It actually works fine. The problem is that the pump has a threaded hole and there's an adapter that goes between the threaded hole and a standard, they call it an M22 hose fitting. Here's the dimensions and everything of what's going on. There's the fitting, and you can see it's got a big crack in it. It's made out of aluminum. All it does is spray water out once you get pressure on it. So what I'm going to do is, I couldn't find anything that looks like this. This is an 18 millimeter, 18 by 1.0 thread. Got an O-ring on it, and then this piece here, if you look inside, I don't know if you can see it, there's a small hole there. So a little venturi to suck soap in or something. So, and then this end has got a 15 millimeter hole in it that the hose end seats into, and then the collar on the outside is an M22, kind of a standard hose fitting for metric pressure washers. Anyway, not being able to find this thing and not being able to find anything with that kind of thread on it that was usable to me, I decided to look around, and what I found was a die, and it is an M18 by 1 die. So this should be the right thread, and it is the right one. It actually got it off of eBay, brand new, with a little bit of rust in it, so I soaked it in Evapor Rust last night. Got it cleaned up nicely, and there's a die and then the 3-tap set for 30 bucks, including freight. So I'll be using that to thread a piece of brass that we use to make an adapter. This brass will be turned down to 18 millimeters on the end and threaded, and I'll put a little relief in there for the O-ring to go in, and then I'll cut a hex in it. On the other side it'll be the 3/8 inch pipe female, and I have an adapter coming from Amazon. It's a 3/8 pipe to the M22 hose fitting, which is a much easier piece to find, but the main thing is it's not going to be aluminum anymore, it's going to be brass. So anyway, today we're going to make the thread adapter from M18-1 to 3/8 national pipe. Not too fancy, but we a little bit of lathe work, a little bit of mill work, and we'll get things set up and come back. Well, our first operation is going to be turning this down to a 1-inch diameter. It's currently 1 3/10, I believe. Yeah, 1/290. So we're going to need to take a little bit off of there. No, 290 actually. Anyway, and it needs to be at least 1.5 inches long. So we're going to make a little mark out there about 1.5 inches. Touched off. Dial zeroed. choke up on this a little bit. There. I'm going to drill and tap this for the 3/8 pipe. And then I'm going to part it off, flip it around, and we'll cut the metric end on it. Okay, now we're getting ready to part it off. Okay, the next operation, we're going to go in 626 depth and 745 diameter. We're right at 1 inch, so we're going to take 200 thousandths off and then measure. I'm going to put a little witness mark in there first, so it's 626. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 620, 626. Okay, touch off. Zero out. Take a 50 thousandths cut. Okay, we're good there, and that's just going to be a little shoulder. I will point out where we're at now. Okay, we just turned this diameter right here. Now I'm going to come out 170 thousandths. Yeah, well, I don't remember where I'm at. There it is, 170. And I'm going to cut this down to 635, 100 wide, and then we'll thread it. All right, next we're going to cut the little O-ring groove. I've set up my 68 thousandths wide grooving tool, and I've touched off on the back side here. I've moved out 170 thousandths, so I'm ready to make the first cut in. We need to cut it 55 thousandths deep for the right dimension for the groove. So we're going to get in there and touch off. There. Touch off, and we're going to go in 55 thousandths. There's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 55. Come back out. We're going to index 32 thousandths toward the head tailstock. 10, 20, 30, 130, 32. Okay, and this is an O-ring groove, so here we go again. We're going to go 55 thousandths deep. Well, I changed my mind. My original plan, here's this, kind of review the part here. I got 3/4 inch pipe thread on the inside of this, 1 inch diameter here. Over here, I've got my boss and the O-ring groove cut, and I've got just a basic bore. It's 485 thousandths. It's a little under ½ inch anyway, which is what the piece of brass had in it to start with. And then I was going to turn this down to 18 millimeters, 18 millimeters. And then I was going to use this as something for a collet block to hold, and I could cut flats on here to make the make a wrench surface. Well, that didn't work out. So I think what I'm going to do is, well, the reason I'm concerned is the difference between the radius of this hole and the radius of the O-ring groove. In other words, the wall thickness right there is 90 thousandths of an inch roughly, and I just don't feel real comfortable hanging on to this with that. So I thought what I would do instead is clamp it here in the collet, turn the flats out here, and then just turn this down at the end to kind of match up with the minor diameter across the flats, and then turn it around and turn this down and thread it. And that's going to be the dicey thing. I need to be sure not to put too much pressure on it, or I'll break it off right in here. Yeah, anyway, that's the change of plan. All right, I'll set up in the mill here. I got everything more or less lined up. I'm going to do a touch off and take 33 thousandths off of two sides of this, and then measure it. And what I'm shooting for is a 15/16 across the flats. If that doesn't look very good, it looks like maybe not enough flat, I'll go down to 7/8, which is a little more, I forget that. But 33 thousandths is what I'm going to take off of here after I touch off. zero out my VRO. Take the whole 30 thousandths and then we'll measure it. All right, let's see what we have there. Okay, I'm about 6 thousandths oversize. Let's pop it back in and take 3 off of each side. That's a pretty good fit. And just to dress it up, I'm going to put it back in the lathe, and I'm going to chamfer this, and I'm going to turn the piece I'm clamping onto down to match the width of the flats. Okay, we're getting ready to turn this off, and theoretically I think about 30 thousandths will do it, but I'll sneak up on it. I'll take a 20 cut after I touch off here. Oh, that's a 0 cut. Well, I got a burr on it I'm going to have to clean up first. Okay, still need to take a little more off. It's what I was hoping for. Thinking 13 thousandth to be right. I think it's going to be okay, but I can't tell until I just take it out. But I think there's still a little. I think there's still a little lip on this right here. I'm going to have to deburr that and see if I got what I want. Got to be close anyway. Okay, I'm about ready to finish this end off. I'm going to turn it down to 18.5 millimeters and then thread it. It's going to take a 23 cut on one side. Just touch off. Zero. There's 23. Okay, that's the end result there. I think we look pretty good. The proof will be if I can screw it into the pump. Well, there we have the original product and the same 18 millimeter 1.0 thread to go into the pump. I didn't put in the suction tube for soap because I never use it. We're now 3/8 male, 3/8 female here, and we're the M2214 hose thread, and it matches this. Everything screws together. I think this is a good project. Well, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did like it, how about giving it a thumbs up? And if you like the channel, how about subscribing? And if you have something you think I'd like to hear, well, put it in the comments. And till the next video, happy trails.